Greetings, welcome back to my channel, and you're watching Jazzy as a Mama. Today we're going to be doing things a little different. For one, remember how I told y'all I was going to take out my dread? Remember how I told y'all me and Jordan had to get our hair done? Yeah, we looking a mess, so there's that. So today's Vlogtober will be in the form of a podcast. I'm going to insert just a small clip so I can call it a vlog. So we're going to call it a Podtober. Boom. No clip needed. So imagine this. Imagine a mom so excited about the aspects of pushing, not thinking of a C-section, and then after that, being able to feed their child from their own source. Having that baby be able to drink from thine own vine. Well, next imagine that same woman not producing enough milk. What she must feel, the disappointment, the judgment she cast on herself, all of that. I said all that to say, I want to talk about my breastfeeding journey and the scary things about breastfeeding. First, I'm going to start by talking about my first 10 days. Day 1, it was a short few hours, and I popped my boob in and called it an accomplishment. I mean, they only need a couple of drops. Their stomachs ain't but so big. What they call it, colostrum. He slept most of the time. So, it was an accomplishment. The first day of my breastfeeding journey, I did the daggone thing. Now, day 2, he was too tired to eat. He would latch for a second, and then the vacuum would go off and he'd go to sleep. The hospital said they were going by sugars and the number of diapers, but come 10 o'clock at night, when the colostrum wasn't comforting my son, I fell off the hardcore train and into my mama cart. I supplemented. Did I feel guilty? Yeah, I felt guilty. I should be able to provide him with enough milk. I should be able to feed him. My body was made for this. But it didn't happen like that. And yeah, I felt guilty, but it wasn't about me. And this time it was on my terms. I was able to make that decision with a sound mind. I was able to make that decision with my whole heart. And I knew what to do. I felt so that I knew, okay, it's only for a little bit. Did I quit? Nope. I was still nursing and pumping and drinking a whole bunch of water. By day 3, the nurse was like, to supplement is to make an excellent decision as a mama. I began to pump. I got a disrespectful amount the first time, but I persevered. By day 4 and 1 a.m., it was like, Eureka! Junior drank from me and got full. He was so content that he gulped my milk. It felt amazing. Day 5, I was in engorging pain. I had to get a compress. My husband had to massage my boobs. My feet swelled. My legs swelled. I couldn't have a dry shirt, and my boobs felt like rocks. There were knots everywhere, right? I was so engorged, Junior couldn't latch. And then, for some reason, nothing could trigger my letdown. Nothing. So when I pumped, I'm still getting 3 to 4 ounces out, right? It got to the point, it was so painful, I didn't want anybody or anything to touch it. I didn't know what to do. I would pump, it wouldn't relieve it. Like, it was just, so day 6 and 7, it was torture. Because I couldn't get all my milk out, by days 8, 9, and 10, I was stagnant at about 2 to 3 ounces per pump. So formula started becoming a lot more his food source, and I became a supplement. So I started drinking the teas and doing the lactation tablets, and I got the Gatorade. I was eating oatmeal. I was eating seafood every day. But then everybody was like, okay, Jasmine, you're going to have to slow down with the seafood When I stopped eating seafood, my supply went down to 1 to 2 ounces a day. So now you bring us to today. Today, I probably pump, if I'm lucky, 3.5 to 4 ounces a day. Like, that's if I pump every 2 hours. By the end of the day, I'll have 1 3.5 to 4 ounce bottle. Last night, I power pumped. My nipples are ripped, they're dry, they're cracked, and yet I'm still trying. The scary thing about breastfeeding is sitting down to a pump, not knowing how much you're gonna get, but doing it anyway because you need your child to have that extra. The scary thing about breastfeeding is finding out that you may not be one of these women who can have a freezer supply. See, I had a breast reduction, so that comes with a lot of guilt. You know, even though the cause of my breast reduction was due to they being too heavy, you know, my breasts were splitting in the middle, my bra was like, it was a health thing. I still feel guilty. Like, maybe I messed up something by doing that. But as a mom, we're kind of hard on ourselves. You can be the most amazing mama, and you'll find a reason to criticize yourself. For instance, if I were to write down a list of the things that I do on a daily basis and attach it to somebody I did not know, I'm pretty sure I would think that person was amazing, right? But when I see it on myself, I just feel like I don't do enough. I could do more. I'm constantly comparing myself to other mothers. I'm constantly comparing my children to other kids. If I see one child doing an activity and they could be 3.5, Jordan just turned 3. It's the fact that she's 3 years old and there's another 3-year-old doing X. I expect Jordan to do X. But if I go back to those videos or those pictures where the child was actually Jordan's area of 3 years old, you know, they were either in the same spot or I find that Jordan is a little advanced. I said all that to say the scary thing about breastfeeding or the scary thing about motherhood in general is not the actual thing. The scary thing about being a mom is that I'm my own worst enemy, and it'll be too late if I'm not careful before I realize just how amazing I am. The scary thing is allowing yourself to wallow in depression or let postpartum depression, if that's a thing, or baby blues take you over because you're not seeing things for what they really are. Now, if you are really ain't ass mom, then you gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? About ain't ass, I mean you ain't feeding your child, and it ain't because you ain't got the means. You ain't washing them. You looking better than your children looking. You ain't cleaned them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know you can do better, and you choose not to, and you don't care. That's the ain't ass mama. But like, if you really out here trying, the scariest thing you can do to yourself is tear yourself down. Because that's going to cause a domino effect. Your children going to see that, and then that's going to be the way they interact with themselves. So I charge you, don't be your own worst nightmare. Be the hero that kills depression. Be the hero that kills that voice that tell you you're nothing. Because those little eyes looking at you, thinking you're the most amazing person in the world. It ain't nobody. I don't care if you do see these YouTube moms and these social media moms. They can't be a better mama to your child than you. Happy Halloween.